Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Umbras, and today we are back in Enthusia Professional Racing, where we get to drive the wonderful, forgotten Kenmeri Skyline GTR. This thing, an ultra rare 1973 Skyline 2000 GTR, based off the C110 chassis code of the Skyline. Welcome for Chubby GT, hope you're well. This thing was produced, at least the GTR specifically was produced literally from January to April in 1973, and only 197 units were produced. Super rare, and it is an interesting beast, that is for sure. But I think let's dive in. Yeah, nowadays even fewer survive, where restored versions hit easily 6 figures. Genuinely crazy. Genuinely crazy. Just how viable they are. One was sold back in 2019 for $430,000. So that is crazy. That is expensive as well. The Kenmeri GTR, a lot of the underpinnings, a lot of the mechanical components were carried over from the previous Hakosuka Skyline. Whoa, right. Gotta remember, live rear axle. And it is, so honestly, underneath, despite it being a little bit heavy, a little bit more luxurious, it shares very similar performance, if maybe slightly slower than the Hakosuka Skyline GTR. But it's still a really cool beast of a machine. Completed crash amount. Nice! Very cool. Very cool. I gotta be careful, we got a car to the inside of us here. Yeah, the Nissan Z, Nissan versus Nissan. Although I feel like the Z33 will probably have a little bit more. A little bit more straight line speed, a little bit better capabilities. We gotta move. Absolutely fun. I can imagine. I mean, if you're playing it to completion, I imagine it was probably an enjoyable experience. Oh, all right, come on. Let's see if we can't stay ahead of the Type R, the DC5 Integra. It's gonna be tough though. We'll max out probably around just a little over 130 miles an hour. Through the right-hand kink. I gotta get past that Cosmo. That thing is gonna be the main thing that slows me down. I gotta get by it. It is lightweight though, so it is gonna make things just a little bit tricky for me. But if I can get a 3rd place, that'll definitely get us considerably more points than a 4th place, I think. He's fighting, which is annoying. It's like I gotta try to find a way to get by. All right, let's see if I can't send it down the inside. Maybe around the outside. I might be able to send it around the outside. Try to complete it again with hard difficulty. I mean, you kind of know roughly what you need to do for like most of the missions now, so. You got that going for you. There we go. Send it around the outside like 2 Trailer Park Girls. Oh gosh. Okay. Little bit spicy. Little bit spicy there. But yeah, this has the same L20 engine that the Hakosuka Skyline has. So honestly, it's basically, you can think of this as very, very similar to its predecessor, just with a slightly more luxurious body, as it was designed to kind of have a bit more of a larger, more kind of Americanized style with the over fenders, with, you know, kind of the more, you know, the rounded rear taillights and everything, the kind of, you know, kind of more Coke bottle styling. And it's a beautiful machine as well. It is a bit of a shame that it doesn't really have, it really didn't sell all that well, just due to the fact that, you know, gas prices. It was during the, again, kind of the created right at the start of like the oil crisis, as well as economic troubles in the 70s in Japan. So very, very few people bought it. It didn't even get a chance to really do much racing either. So it was kind of forgotten about for a little bit. The car is a little bit unstable at high speeds. Take on the big challenge. Yeah, best of luck, man. Hopefully it goes well for you. Alright, come on. Oh, alright, a little bit spicy there, but we can handle it. Just gotta avoid the liftoff oversteer a little bit. And hopefully this will be enough to get us another upgrade. Maybe a power upgrade. I know we were down a bit on power. Even compared to the Cosmo. Alright, there we go. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright. I think we're good. I think we're fine. Let's get it across the line. What the Albany Buccaneer? Uh-oh, what's with the, what happened with the Albany Buccaneer? Sorry, not L20, S20. My mistake. It had the S20 2.0 inline 6 with the triple Solux carbs. Very, very nice. But yeah, it had a very short production run. Basically partially due to the 1973 oil crisis. Partially due to increased emissions regulations that would target high performance engines like the S20 engine. As well as it being kind of more of an inventory clear out. Just kind of a little bit more partly used to move some of the leftover S20 engines from the Hakosuka production run. So it was a convenient way to deploy that. Although, due to the shift towards more kind of luxury and grand touring styling, that kind of aim for broader appeal. But while being a jack of all trades and it being a more of a master of none, unfortunately, and its production was cut pretty shortly after it started. It basically was only running for 4 months. Although nowadays it's one of the most valuable of the GTRs. How ironic! Something that people didn't want when it initially came out now, and now it is one of the most sought after of the GTRs. Gosh, it looks so good though. Absolutely gorgeous. Gonna make it more accurate to the GT4. Oh, I imagine you're gonna do some slight changes then. Alright, come on, let's get it through these turns. Easy. Alright, brake probably around the 60-meter mark for the first lap. Woo, a little bit of a slide. Alright, big jump here. Nice. Oop, okay. Little bit, okay. That's too spicy. Alright, I gotta manage and steer there on that corner. Ooh, boy. Alright, no issues so far. It is a little bit tail happy. But gosh, this vehicle is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, okay, don't do that. Don't do that, Isaac. Absolutely do not do that. Let's turn it a bit like the GT San Andreas Buccaneer. Ah, so you're gonna kind of more do the San Andreas style. Okay, okay. Nice. Very nice. Maybe give it some like low-render graphics or something then to really kind of, you know, give it that San Andreas vibe. Let's see if we can get back up with the S2000. Come on, two 2-liters, duking it out. Although I got 2 more cylinders than the S2000 does, and a considerably less sophisticated suspension system or brakes or engine even. No VTEC here. No VTEC here. Come on, let's get it through. Oh boy. Alright, yeah, okay. So they got a little bit of a gap there, a little bit of a dang. Whoa, okay. That was too much of a cut there. I gotta readjust and reacquaint myself with the dimensions of my vehicle. I gotta catch the Supra. We're in a much older vehicle. We're in a vehicle that's about 30 years older than the S2000 ahead of us. Let's see if we can't, you know, put up a good fight. How about I was not playing that. I was only playing the Senate GTA 4. So what's now the new plan? Oh gosh, alright, 3rd place is catching us as well. I gotta try to hold on to the highest possible position. We are fading and fading fast. Alright, come on. Come on. Alright, we're good. We are golden. Whoa, okay. A little bit spicy there. Oh my gosh, can we actually make it work? We got the better run through the chicane. Just barely. Just barely making it work. Oh boy. Alright. Nice. That was good. That was super good. This will be enough for probably 2 level ups, I think. No, only 1, okay. A little bit of weight saving then. That's fine. That was a much better run, I think, as well. Gotta really use a little bit of the the Skyline's strengths as much as I can, anyway. Oh boy. All right, we do got a rear-wheel drive limited race here. Got a few vehicle. So it's kind of a little bit kind of like a mixed vehicle then. Railroad challenge. Yeah, let's do the rear-wheel drive limited race to see what we got against us. 2002 Turbo, MRS, 180SX. Alright, so a bunch of more modern vehicles, including even a Mustang. Really, only the 2002 is the only thing that's really kind of close to our era, or the age of our vehicle. Alright, come on. Let's send it. Let's absolutely send it. Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Alright, they got a three-way battle going on behind us. That's good. That is very good. Got no worries, no issues there. A little bit of a nudge. Little bit of a nudge. Nothing major. Nothing major. Alright, come on, let's see if we can't hold them off. Come on, let's see. Let's show them that this Skyline that never got a chance to actually race IRL. Let's show them that it can race. Let's show them that it can do it. Let's give it that can-do attitude. Ooh, we're gonna be a little bit spicy there, a little bit spicy. Alright, we lost the position to the Mustang. Kind of figured that was gonna happen. Top these marks. I mean, that just comes down to practice, though. You get more practice and everything like that, you'll be, you know, you'll be able to get, you know, especially if you focus on like practicing some of the things you may not necessarily be as good at. Using that to kind of expand your skill, you know, your skill toolbox and everything. Would be the smart thing to do, you know. Begin kind of adding in like the shading, the highlights, all of that stuff. Adding a bit more like the depth to the pictures. That'll be good. All right. There are X8 behind us. Welcome, JB. Mom got a paycheck with 7. Nice. Very nice. If you need any more recipes, let me know, okay? Let me know what you guys end up getting, and I can try to find some more stuff that'll work with that. But I already sent you a decent amount of like kind of semi-breakfast and semi-dinner stuff. That's, you know, quick, fairly easy, and you know, not too should be fairly inexpensive, so that'll be good. But yeah, right now we are in the right now we got some beef burger. Ooh, very nice. Some ground beef and everything. Good. So you can you know save the veggie burger recipe for the another time, the bean burger recipe. Which, to be fair, I have personally had the bean burger. Genuinely, it's pretty. It's as a college student, it's tasty. It's real tasty. I quite like it a lot. I might genuinely make it again sometime, because it's been a little bit since I've had it. Since it's been a while since I've been in college. But it was like a staple in college when it was like, I don't really like anything that the meal plan currently has, but groceries are expensive. I'll make that. But it was good. It's tasty. There's a year tie dropped and people really complain the protagonist is a woman. Yeah, I mean, that part is probably less of an issue compared to just some of the other things. The voice actor doesn't exactly have the greatest track record, and is kind of cringe. But like the fact that the main character's a woman, I don't got an issue with that. I'm waiting to see how good the writing actually is. 'Cause I've heard some people say that the writing is okay. Other people would say that it's kind of mid. Others say it's decent, like, you know, alright-ish. So it'll depend. It'll depend a lot on that. That's English. Yeah, true. So I guess if you played in like the non-English, it might be better. I haven't heard too many complaints about the Japanese voice actress. The main complaints I've heard has been from the English voice actress who's just very kind of like loud and obnoxious. But I don't know. It's not necessarily my genre of game that I particularly play, so I've only been kind of cursory, kind of keeping tabs on that. You like Ghost of Tsushima? Probably like this one. Okay. Alright, good. I think we managed to finish on the podium. The RX-8 and the Mustang absolutely blew us out of the water. But we did pretty good, actually. Ooh, boy. Guess we gotta have a spoiler first. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, if you're not necessarily, it's definitely a, you know, kind of a name that we don't necessarily say much in English. But yeah. Also, so did a little bit of more research on Ken and Mary from the Kenmeri Skyline ad. And they're played by real LA actors Jimmy Zanai and Diane Cray Wesley. Zanai, a half Japanese, half Russian teen actor at the time. Oh shoot, he unfortunately passed shortly after the advertisement was released. In a motorcycle accident. Neeson had to recast the roles afterwards, which is a little bit unfortunate. As apparently he had a pretty big career ahead of him, and that just was really unfortunate. Okay, the reason Jin Sakai is called Sakai is because creators are a fan of the comic. Nice, very nice. What are you up against? Ooh, okay. 2 inline 6 beasts. So we got probably about two less. Made you suck it. Ooh, Yojimbo! Yojimbo, what you doing? Why would you like some pot? Sorry, every time I say Yojimbo, I'm just thinking like Hugh Neutron talking to his son. While Jimmy Zanai, the guy who played Ken, unfortunately passed. Diane Cray Wesley, the woman who played Mary, eventually became a high school teacher out in Sacramento, California, which is pretty cool. So two very different paths. Although a little bit tragic with the guy who played Ken. A little bit unfortunate there. The woman who played Mary declined to renew her role after the guy Jimmy Zanai's passing, because she felt that, you know, he was kind of like almost like her little brother of sorts, and he didn't really want to. She didn't really want to do it with another actor, so she moved back to the States and everything. But unfortunate and everything. Oh, the understeer. Little bit of understeer there. We're doing better than the Jaguar though. We got a good battle going on here. Ooh. Okay, a little bit of a twitch. Little bit of a twitch. But we should be good. Come on, the Nissan Skyline, it is at home on the twisty mountain passes. We should be able to handle it. We should be able to handle it. Right? Yeah. We should be able to handle it. Oop, okay. Gotta have a little bit of... There, okay. Yeah, we got the vehicle under control. The live axle of the Kenmeri Skyline, though, it does make it a little bit unstable over some of the bumps and everything like that. It does help make it fairly lightweight, despite its fairly luxurious transformation from the Hakosuka Skyline. But it is still just a little bit spicy on the handling side of things. It does have, you know, 1970s style tires on it, so not exactly the grippiest vehicle around. Not at all. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Nice and smooth. I'm driving like Keiichi Sushi. Maybe. maybe. Just gotta slide it a bit more. Hell yeah, yeah, just slide it out all the corners. Back this way. YOLO. Slide it around. Deja vu, I've been in this place before. I'm not entirely sure that was quicker. The tires give traction next like the diff. Yeah, a little bit. You gotta have a little bit more of a locked rear differential for that, I think. Which you could probably do. Yeah, not exactly the most amount of ranking points here. That's gonna hurt us a bit. Back then, you know, spit quicker than tires. True. Yeah, kind of having a bit more slip angle and everything. Speaking of historic vehicles, Pittsburgh International Raceway recently got bought out by a private company. And it's currently is not going to be using the site for public races at this time. So that means this year, with the Pittsburgh Historic Grand Prix, it is the final time. I basically went to one of the last races, like last public races at that track this year. Yeah, I know, bro. That is sad as well. Oh, hey, another Kenmeri Skyline. Wait, no, that's Hakosuka Skyline. Even better. Brother! It literally has the same underpinnings and everything. Just a different body. Brother, Skyline. That's cool how this game has so many of the different skylines as well. I think it's got, at least as the time the game came out, every single GTR. Because it has the Hakosuka. He we got the Kenmeri, we got the R32, we got the R33, and we got multiple R34s as well. So I think it has every GTR, at least at the time the game came out. So I think the R35 was still in pre-production. Like it was still a concept car. Yeah, not full slide, I know that. But like, even still, like, you know, kind of have a bit more slip angle. Okay, a little bit of a twitch there. Let's try to avoid that. I will say that it has the engine and power increases have really helped out the vehicle. Not to be a V8 rear-wheel drive R35 UK market. Of all places, UK markets, where they have a road tax based off of fuel consumption. In which case, they would have been better off with the V6 twin turbo, as that would have had during regular road driving better fuel efficiency. Of all places, I can maybe see that in like the US, but like the UK, that's strange. And then again, it was during a time when Nissan probably wasn't exactly making the best decisions. Yeah, I think they've been insane with all the maybe. Depends on if they included the twin turbos or not. Because the twin turbos definitely help really increase the power as well. It turned the car into a turbo brick. It's gonna have the twin turbo. Okay, nice. Right, come on, gotta control the rear slide a little bit. Gotta love live rear axles. Little bit twitchy here and there, but that's all right. That is fine. Never in production. Yeah, it seems like a lot of engineering for just a slight, like a very small market. Yeah, unfortunately we did. I mean, to be fair, the R35 is still probably the closest thing we got in terms of like the relatively inexpensive, at least compared to like contemporary supercars of its time, crazy straight line acceleration and kind of heavier size. One could vaguely make the argument that the R35 is kind of a muscle car. Or at least it's probably about as close to a muscle car as modern Japanese cars go, I think. Yeah, I mean, okay, in comparison to like other vehicles of its like price point, you know. If you take more so like the spirit of like the muscle car, where it's, you know, heavier, straight line missile, fairly inexpensive for other vehicle compared to other vehicles in its performance range, the GTR can kind of fit that category. But again, definitions are vague and not exactly helpful. Alright, there we go. I mean, yeah, it handled well, but it was still, like, heavy. Like, you compare the weight of the R35 compared to, like, other vehicles of its time, and it was a chungus. It was a chungus. Like, as far as Japanese cars go, it was probably the closest you could get to a modern muscle created by Japan. Like, what else could be closer in, like, semi-modern Japanese car releases? Not a whole lot, I'd imagine. I mean, fair, yeah. Okay, like 2000s and like newer. As in, basically, it hasn't started appreciating in value. As in, it's still got like OBD2. Like, fair. Okay, yeah. The what's their performance sedan? That's fair. Yeah, that might be like the only thing that comes close. Yeah. Yeah, one of those. One of those. So, okay, fair enough. So yeah, those might be probably the closest thing then to Japanese, quote-unquote muscle cars. Oh, gosh, we're gonna have a tough time against the R34, I think. I'm gonna say for V8s and rear drive. And they are, at least some of them are four-door as well. So, you know, you got that full size, kind of like the old style American muscle cars as well. So, spiritually, yeah, they kind of fit. I still remember, it's a little over a year ago now, I put up the muscle car purity chart, where it was like, what counts as a muscle car? It has to have, and it was like engine purity versus like body style purity. Body style and like country of origin purity, I think. Yeah, that R34, it's gonna kick in the butts. Yeah, so rear-wheel drive, kind of heavier vehicle with a big V8, with strong straight line performance. I think is like I think was your definition, something close to your definition. That could be included because of the 20. I guess. Although that wasn't exactly a particularly high performance vehicle though. Even in terms of like straight line, you know, acceleration and everything. It was just kind of a big full-size luxury vehicle. But yeah, I mean, the argument could be made. Yeah, for me, I mostly go by the spirit, the spirit of the concept behind muscle cars, where it's got strong straight line acceleration and stop and quarter mile performance, and is able to beat on the quarter mile vehicles that are considerably more expensive than it, even if it has to sacrifice some cornering capabilities. So I would technically, at least in my definition, I would technically consider like the Tesla Model S, especially the Plaid editions, to be muscle cars. As weird as that is, like you look at like all the drag race videos of like the Teslas, like, you know, running the crazy quarter mile times and everything. It's like spiritually, it kind of continues the muscle car ethos of, you know, vehicle that is built to absolutely decimate more expensive vehicles in the quarter mile while still being, you know. Let's cause cheaper GT cars. The reason they're created is because Americans couldn't fit European sports cars. And also European sports cars were, well, expensive. Alright, we got 4 options here. So let's pull up our random number generator. Let's pull up the random number generator. There we go. Alright. If it is a 1, it is going to be the Z33. If it is a 4, it's going to be the Toyota Sports 800. They got a 50-50 shot if it's going to be a modern vehicle or a classic vehicle. And a 50-50 shot if it's going to be Japanese or European. So let's see. 2. Alright, the Golf R32. Alright, I'm okay with that. It's going to be comfortable and get groceries for the kids. Yeah, fair. So we got the Golf. We got the Golf R32. Oh, yes. Alright, let's do it. And of course, the deep blue pearl. I know it's one of the more common colors in the United States, but it looks so good. Look at the VRS6 engine, the 3.2 liter VRS6 engine. 4-wheel drive. And while this version here doesn't have it, this was one of the first production cars to come with the DSG gearbox, which is cool. Yeah, like you can kind of, especially nowadays, there isn't really like any like vehicle with particularly like bad handling, I think. Like it's not like, you know, you're really having like the crazy, you know, the heavy bricks that are, you know, like the old muscle cars and everything. Like most modern vehicles, due to the engineering that goes into them and everything like that. I mean, kind of, vaguely. Got an under 4 liter race. Let's see what the RS race is. 5.8. I'm willing to give it a shot. Although I feel like the we might be biting off more than we can chew in a nearly stock Golf R32. But let's see what we can do here. I mean, we got 240 horsepower, 236 foot-pounds of torque, 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds. It's funny that the Volkswagen Golf is saying the R32 like the Skyline R32. R32 versus R32. Yeah, I mean the Viper's got the crazy power that wants to kill you, so you know, it's got that going for it. I mean, it does have the 3.2 liter, 15 degree VRS6 engine. Oh gosh. Alright, a little bit late on the brakes there. That's gonna hurt me. That's gonna hurt me hard. But let's see if we can't get right up back up there with the Evo. A little bit of understeer. A little bit of understeer. Gotta love that forward drive understeer. Oh gosh, we got the EB110 ahead of us. Sorry, EB110 behind us. I'm not sure we'll be able to keep that behind us. I'm hoping we can put up a good fight. I know in the straights we got absolutely decimated there. Okay, there we go. That was clean. That was smooth. Why are they putting against the EB1? I mean, to be fair, this is an RS event. They're designed to be like end game, some of the harder races in the game. So it puts you up against basically like top tier vehicles. Though to be fair, the Golf R32, especially once it gets upgrades, punches well above its weight. And this is how you can consistently win the King of the Year race. Because it's got good grip and its engine is very susceptible to upgrades. So it gets a lot of power. But because the odd system only really is based off of what the vehicle is like stock, then it really allows you to, you know, punch above your weight. Volkswagens between like Hondas. I mean, they still kind of are. You still got the golf, like a lot of the golf tunes and everything like that. And the Hondas are now more have gotten a little bit pricey as well. So, but yeah, nowadays they're a little bit different price ranges. All right, we actually are making a little bit of a dent into the lead of the Evo ahead of us. But it's one thing to catch them, it's another thing to pass. Some questions. The rear engines are still continuing or has been discontinued? I believe they've been discontinued. They kind of live on a little bit in things like the Bugattis and some of your Bentleys and stuff like that. Shit. But otherwise, like in terms of like the VR6, yeah, it's been pretty much discontinued. Smaller engines plus turbocharging is the way to go now. Okay, yeah. Oh, they got rid of the W. I mean, it makes sense, but still, rip. Alright, come on. I need to finish at least 4th in order to get points. I see 3rd and 2nd just up ahead. In the twisties, we do gain on them. It's just on that main straight, they're able to pull a massive gap. And I'm not too keen on that. 9.3 liter V16. Jeez. That's gonna be a long boy then. Alright, come on, got 3 more laps to go. At the very least, we can hold off the Bugatti, the Dower. One or the other, pretty much the same thing. wannabe German, French, Italian car. Alright, that was pretty quick through there. We did also get our fastest lap of the race so far with the 113.9. Getting just a little bit quicker, a little bit closer each lap. So I think maybe in 2 laps you could probably get right up there with the Evo. We might be able to hold it off. 1,800 total. That's a lot of power. That is a lot of power. the BMW M3 GTR is way ahead. I kind of figured that would be one of the ones that really dominates. No, these are the same thing with turbos. Plus, also, you know, you're already, you know, having extra weight with all the batteries and the hybrid electric systems and everything. Adding even more weight for the boost in power. Like, at this point, you're probably, like, limited by your drivetrain. Maybe, as well as tires, especially tires. Like, that's gotta be a big limiting factor. So it's one of those things where you're really V16 on Jazzer Group. Yeah, but I mean is like with that, like you're probably like limited by like traction and everything like that, potentially. Because if you got the electric motors driving the front wheels and everything. Like then, you know, you're still, you know, you're kind of at the limit of power and the limit of traction, I think, for what road tires can handle. Probably. They want to talk about that too, yeah. And also, you know, adding the forced induction also requires even more space and also adds heat as well. And imagine with an engine of that size, cooling it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I know even the Veyron, it had 4 separate radiators. And even then it had some issues with overheating. On extended high-speed runs. Ooh, okay. Yeah, couldn't quite catch the Evo. Couldn't quite catch the Evo. Oh boy. There we go. Got a little bit of weight. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, we got ourselves the R32. Some upgrades from the standard Mark IV Golf, having the Audi TT derived front suspension, as well as having the bushings and spindles to start sharper steering response. Have some aluminum suspension components for less unsprung weight, and an independent rear suspension with a revised floor plan shaded with the Audi TT. Takes a lot of stuff from the TT and puts it in. Funnily enough, later on, the TT would eventually get the same engine that the Golf R32 came with, the 3.2 liter VRS6. So it is kind of funny how the Audi TT went into to help develop the Golf, and then the Golf's engine in that development, and the DSG eventually went into the later Audi TTs. It comes full circle. Yeah, the TT is definitely slept on. It's a beautiful. It's honestly, I quite like the look of them. Especially like the later 2000s, early 2010s, the TTRS. Those look really good. Those I really like the look of. Especially in that kind of like deep. Yeah, the later TTs had the inline 5, but the earlier ones, some of the facelifted first generation ones, ended up getting the VRS6. One of those is actually in Enthusia as well. We got both the 1.8 liter turbo in Audi TT, as well as the 3.2 liter naturally aspirated Vera 6 TT. Case of TT's a baby rates. A little bit. No, with the engine up front. But they're still cute. Cute little bean cars. Alright, come on, let's get through here. Yeah, I saw that. They're kind of focusing more on the development of like the net zero biofuels and everything. I think is what they are really focusing on. A part of that as well is just people aren't really buying the electric cars as much, so it's kind of they're kind of losing money on that. Yeah, I believe the Cayman's gonna have options for still having the boxer engine. I'm pretty sure it will. The only place EV so well is China, to be honest. I mean, kind of Europe as well. But less so the luxury EVs, more so kind of like the more budget-friendly EVs. You get those a lot more in Europe because of the sheer like road taxes and everything. But like the high-end EVs, you mainly get that in kind of mainly get those out, you know, kind of in like the Asian countries and everything. I mean, the EV Cayman does some. Could be. Depends on how much it weighs. The EV system will add a lot of chungus to that. And I mean that is one of the draws of the Cayman is basically if you want a smaller, lighter 911. I'm not sure how well that would work in a modern 911 though. I know that they kind of vaguely did it with the modern 935, but that was kind of like a track-only, like, supercar type of thing, and it was, you know, like, I forget how many were made, but there wasn't a whole lot. But actually making an IRL, like, road legal flat nose, I'm not sure how well they do that. Because you gotta have a minimum headlight height. So it might just look kind of weird. So kind of the joy of the flat nose was either having the pop-up headlights, or in the racing cars having like the headlights down lower, and neither of those are really legal. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, the narrow type. Ugh. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That doesn't seem. I don't know. I'm also one that's not the biggest fan of the Taycan. The styling of that anyway. That kind of looks like an awkward elongated 911 with weird squinty headlights. So, eh. Oh, okay, that is a little bit running a little bit wide there. Just a little bit wide. Come on. Let's get it across the line. Yeah, kind of like the narrow stuff. Maybe. I mean, I might like it, but I don't know. It's just not particularly. Yeah. There we go. Very, very nice. This will give us probably 2 levels. Oh, only 1. Okay. It's gonna take a little bit longer to level up then. There we go. Perfect. Welcome, Smash Killer. You missed the Kenmeri Skyline, but now we're driving the Volkswagen Golf R32, the Mark IV VR6 Golf R32. Ooh, all right, we got a decent chance here in the wets with the 4-wheel drive. It is compact. It is very, very, very maneuverable. It's got the all-wheel drive for I love the Kenmeri. Yeah, the forgotten Skyline. Less than 200 of those were made, and even less survive nowadays. One recently went at auction back in 2019 for over $400,000. So while it wasn't loved, while it was a commercial failure in the 70s due to the oil crisis, stricter emissions regulations, and kind of mismanagement by Nissan, nowadays it is among one of the more valuable and sought after GTRs. At least as far as like standard GTRs, not like the crazy I forgot the forgotten Skyline was the wagon with the Skyline IB. The Stagia? I mean, I guess that's kind of a Skyline. But it's not like actually called like a Skyline. Really? Can you not dive me into the sweeper? Absolute melon behavior there. There we go. Alright, let's stay ahead of it. Use the all-wheel drive to pull ourselves out of the speed. Pull ourselves out of the tight corners. Yeah, but that's not necessarily a Skyline. Like, it wasn't called Skyline. Whereas, like, the Kenmeri, like, you play, like, a lot of racing games. They'll have the Hakosuka, probably. They'll have things like, you know, your R32s, R33s, R34s, especially the R32s and R34s. But, like, you almost never see the Kenmeri. The Kenmeri is definitely the one that, like, gets forgotten of, like, the Skyline GTRs. Which is a bit of a shame, because I genuinely think that vehicle is beautiful as well, especially with the flared fenders and kind of the Coke bottle American car styling. Absolutely, really, really cool looking. Okay, we got a decent Pixel New Flanos. Okay, I have to check them out after the stream. Yeah, this thing is absolutely wonderful. We're only level 3, and we're kicking butt in the RS races, which is usually reserved for Class A vehicles, not Class C vehicles, and fairly heavily modified ones at that. Remember when road and track, need for speed, remember they can... Fair. Still, like, it wasn't in a whole lot of, like, racing games. Like, you compare, like, the racing game, like, how many each of the GTR Skylines have shown up in, like, different racing games. It's probably the one that shows up the least. not show me touching. Okay, fair enough. Still, I'll take a look at it after the stream. Now we are driving the manual version of the R32 Golf, but this was the first ever Volkswagen production vehicle with a DSG, with a dual clutch transmission. And how it worked was basically you had one shaft within another shaft, and essentially clutch 1 controlled the odd number gears 1, 3, 5, as well as reverse, whereas clutch 2 controlled the even number gears 2, 4, and 6. And both of those were multi-plate wet clutches, housed concentrically to save space. So there was one larger clutch within a smaller clutch, and essentially you had two coaxial input shafts. The smaller inner shaft for the odd gears, and the hollow outer shaft for the even gears. And this basically allowed the transmission to preemptively engage one gear while the other gear was already moving. And essentially during the shift, it would just switch clutches, which is really, really cool. Although very, very tricky to service from what I've been told, as the internal and external parts do make it fairly mechanically complex and very difficult to take apart. But it is still really, really cool. You get the lightning fast shifts of around 10 to 50 milliseconds, depending on how much transmission has been gone up to temperature. That is basically faster than you can blink, whereas traditional automatics are around 200 to 500 milliseconds, and manuals are around 100 to 200 milliseconds for sportier manuals. German engineering moment, pretty much. So look at so much, kind of, yeah. But this is one of the first like production cars, and definitely the first production vehicle from Volkswagen to have it, with the paddle shifters and everything. And it is really, 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 really cool. Oh, this one here is the manual version. It did not allow us to have the flippy floppy paddle shifters. Sick any day. That's what she said. No, then that's why they offered it out also as a manual as well. As some people would want to have it with the 6 shifter, whereas others would probably want the flippy floppy, technologically advanced paddle shifters. Either way, it was still very rapid, with the top speed electronically limited to 155 miles an hour. That's what I said. Fair. Alright, boop, boop. Down through the gears. 5 pedals. Yeah, gotta love. Hang on a sec, I got something in my eye. I got something in my eye. Oh, it's an eyelash. Ah, curse you, eyelash. Curse you, Billy Eyelash. Okay, there we go. I think I got it up. I think I got it up. Sparklehead's calling the VR6 a bit. I mean, to be fair, it is technically a V6. It is just a narrow banked 15-degree V6. But even in the Volkswagen specifications, they do call it a V6. Welcome, Sakura. Screw you, Billy Eyelashes. Exactly. Holy moly. They are painful. The eyelashes are there to prevent things from falling into your eyes and causing pain. But then the eyelashes fall into your eyes and cause pain, and you're like, wait a second, this whole operation was your idea. BMW technically has oh yeah, anything with hemicircle heads. Yep. It just Dodge has the Hemi marketing. Oh, Volkswagen is wrong. I mean, Volkswagen kind of made those engines, so I think I trust their judgment on that. Don't care, they're wrong. Fair enough. I mean, write an angry letter to vote so I can let them know they're wrong. Boop. There we go. Alright, 2 more laps. Now, despite the fact that it is a, technically a V6, you'd only have... I may have literally created it, but they were... Okay. Alright. They're wrong. So despite its, at least according to Volkswagen, being a V6, the VR6 is technically... Oh, it does only have 1 cylinder head and 2 camshafts. And how the camshafts operate is they have a series of rocker arms that allow them to be centrally positioned and therefore use the rocker arms to actuate the valves on both banks of cylinders, which allows the engine to be more compact and more lightweight, as you don't have to have 4 camshafts. You only need to have 2, which is very, very cool. The downside is you still have a little bit of added complexity with the added rocker arms, but it's better than having four camshafts. And that also allows the engine to be a little bit lighter up top, which helps lower the center of gravity as well, if albeit very, very, very slightly. This thing is a beast. Bring back the rear engine beetle. the rear engine beetle. I mean, you have the rear engine beetle. It's called the 911. BMW. I don't know. I just, yeah. Tis what tis. There we go. All right. So we did it surprisingly well there in a fairly under-leveled Golf R32, beating a lot of faster vehicles there. So let's do this. There we go. Oh, thanks. Taking my dubiously made wartime Herbie. I mean, hey, look, it's not a war crime the first time. That's what I told the stewards when they asked me why I dive bombed someone in turn 1 from 3 seconds back. It's not a war crime the first time. It is, however, a 10-second penalty. Alright, let's go to Bergen Schluch. Ooh, speaking of BMWs, we got 2. Actually, we got 3. We got the M3 Sport Evolution, the Z4, and the M3 GTR road going version. Very nice. Very nice. Let's do this. Let's kick butt. Ba-dum. Maybe it was never a war crime. He's a good boy though, is pushed to his limits and goes even further beyond. Hey, look, Herbie competed in NASCAR. You have to commit war crimes to compete in NASCAR. I mean, ask Daryl Sr. Rust. Yeah, Canadian cars do get a lot of rust. Ooh, this is handling surprisingly well actually with the upgrades. I would definitely take this. A little sporty hot hatch. Let's send it. Absolutely send it. You competed in aspect. But when was the second time? I know the one time was Herbie Fully Loaded. What was the other time? Oop. Oh. Canadians be like, yeah, war crime. Yeah, the Canadians, they're all about that war crimes. Talladega and Fully Loaded. Ah, okay. Herbie Talladega. I gotta look up that one up. I know Herbie competed at Willow Springs in one of his movies, which is really, really cool. Oh, rip. Herbie was just following orders. Talladega is from the 80s. Okay. Why did I say that? I'm gonna get canceled. Ah, doesn't matter. I'm retiring at the end of the year anyway. YOLO. YOLO swag. Anyway, to prevent my channel from getting absolutely banned, let's, so, the VR6, it's a nice engine, 4 valves per cylinder. We are not gonna question how Herbie went on a date with a new Beetle and Herbie Fully Loaded. Herbie's a groomer, guys! Especially because like that Beetle was like maybe like what, like 4 years old at the time Herbie Fully Loaded came out, if that. He was on the list. So that's why I've seen Silent. Wasn't the new Beetle underage? Yeah, that's exactly why. Yeah. I tried to change the subject. I tried to change the subject to the VO6 again. But yeah, Herbie was probably... Look, there's a reason Epstein Island has a private racetrack. He had a girlfriend and tell it. Dang, he's a womanizer and a groom. Herbie. How the mighty have fallen. Alright. Down to the gears. There we go. Alright, one more lap. Let's do this. Okay, let's change the subject now before my channel actually gets banned. I wanna make sure. I wanna make sure I at least make it to the end of the Sorry about that. I had a slight tickle my throat. No wait, his girlfriend was a lunch and her big was a manic. Ooh, based. I mean, them Italian girls, you know. They just be built different. Although they are kind of crazy. Ruby goes to, oh boy. Lunch should probably caught fire. Let's be real. I mean, it is a lunch, yeah. So probably. It's an Italian car. The mob just took the mob just took credit from all the explosions, but really it was Italian engineering. I'm gonna get some sleep this night because my next thing I'm gonna work clean the house. Ooh, all right. Take care, man. Have fun cleaning. Have fun doing the house cleaning tomorrow. Spring cleaning for you. So we're gonna launch right. They're making a rally car. Yes, they are making a Rally 2 car. The Ypsilon Rally 2. So they're not gonna be competing in the top level of WRC. They're competing at basically like the next highest level. And I am here for that. I am so here for that. Holy moly. Inject that straight into my veins, please. Lancia is finally back in rally racing. If you told me just a decade ago that Tokyo Extreme Race would come back and Lancia return to rally racing, I would have thought you were crazy. But apparently 2025 is the year of the revivals. And I'm all for that. I am all for that. Let's make that happen. Based. Absolutely based. Alright, let's see what other options we got. It's got apologizing for the early 2020. You know what? I accept that apology. The 2025, the year of we are so back. Chat, we are so back. Alright, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Hey, speaking of the Audi TT, we got one right in front of us. Although that's the 1.8 liter. That's the 1.8 liter version. Who's gonna dive me? It's more mixed up. Fair. Alright, I gotta get past. This is the Mustang. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to think about that. That's crazy. Herbie, no. Also, why is it 84 now? I don't know where you are where it's 84. Here it was like the 70s. Here it was pretty comfortable. But I have been told that this October is going to be a little bit warmer. But then it's going to like snap cold in like November, so yay. And then we're supposed to have a fairly cold and fairly wet winter. Gabriel, welcome. I passed an EV launch here, but let me drive the Miata ND in South Italy. The crazy Italian girlfriend Isaac mentioned is so No, do not have the crazy Italian girlfriend. Welcome, Gabriel. Hope you're well. Actually, you know what? Since we're in the year of we're so back, I'm gonna be hopeful. I'm gonna give you the confidence. You can fix her. You can fix her, Gabriel. You can fix her. And if you can't fix her, at the very least, she will break you. And that is almost as good, right? She gonna mama your Mia. She gonna touch your spaghetti. Question is, can she fix you? Well, let's be honest, we're guys. There is no fixing us. Does a Dutch company actually own, like, the majority stake, though? That's be crazy if true. Do. Max Verstappen. He drove a Ferrari at the Nürburgring last weekend, I think. Hey, the crazy Italian girlfriend and a French girlfriend is most likely related to Benjamin Franklin. So it's actually super American. I mean, Benjamin Franklin was a freak, though. Benjamin Franklin was the OG MILF hunter. Yeah, read his letter about cats in the dark. Genuinely, just give it a read. It is the most cursed and raunchy stuff you would expect from the freaking 1700s. They own the majority of Ferrari. Ferrari is Dutch. Max Verstappen to Ferrari confirmed. Make it happen. Actually, no, I don't think. I think Max would literally like backslap half the people at Ferrari if he did that. I read multiple books on pulling chicks. That is true. My wrist hurt. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that joke. I am not gonna say that joke. Genuinely though, give your wrist some rest. Remember, rest, ice, compression, elevation for that type of stuff. Any potential injuries, sprains, strains, all that stuff. Does Spiker still even make cars? I don't know. I don't think so. He advised he would have pulled so many cougars. Like I said, Benjamin Franklin was a freak. Dude grew his own weed, brewed his own alcohol. Literally helped create a whole new system of government. Dude was like that crazy dude on your college campus. That's like, the more you listen to him, the more he's absolutely batshit insane, but also, you know what? He's also kind of making some sense. I think they're in the process of making stuff and still make the C8. Still the C8? Damn. That's gotta be like a new generation of C8 or something. C8 was around even in the mid-2000s. I mean, granted, the C8 is a beautiful vehicle. If I ever become like a multi-billionaire, yeah, I'd probably own one. I want a Spiker just to play with the badge. Buy a six-figure car just to spin the badge. Next, you're gonna buy a Rolls Royce just to spin the hubcaps. The Italian part is doing the innovations, the French part is the freaky. I think both combined to make the freaky part, let's be honest. Desperate lusty people in the area. Quit mocking me, I know I have a mirror. And I'm not desperate. I pulled last night. Missing eyes of the badge helps the autist. I mean, hey, if it helps, I guess. Just don't go spinning random people's car badges, please. I'm acoustic. I'm electric. Woogie, woogie, woogie. Ooh, shocking. It's electric. You can't see. It's electric. Woogie, woogie, woogie. You can't feel it. It's electric. Woogie, woogie, woogie. Ooh, shocking. It's electric. Woogie, woogie, woogie. I have a lot of French chef cook and a time mechanic picture cook. I mean, doesn't like Paris have like the highest concentration in Michelin restaurants? I'm not sure that quite works. Never ask a Brit to cook or an Italian mechanic to fix your car. For the French, it's don't let the French manage anything, ever. For the badge of the Spectre make a Beyblade. The world's most expensive Beyblade. Oh, that's too late on the brakes. That's too late on the brakes. How to get a computer for editing. I make every time you say and sync it up with Mario teaches typing Mario being in it. Do I really say a lot? I am the villager. Yes, peak British cooking. 5-star bean toast. Okay, to be fair though, one thing I would genuinely love for British cooking that I want to try is a British style sausage roll. I wanna try it. I was like, why are you trying to sell me 6 for 20 cent emeralds? It's the art of the deal. It is the art of the deal, the art of the steal, the art of tire squeal. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing. Yes, and it is exactly like early Charles Martin Mario doing the airplane. That's it, you're going in the tray, you can't. Dang. Hey, I mean, this isn't the first time I've been camping. Living in England sucks. It rains every day, high taxes, messy teeth, and no good food. Oi, mate, you got a license for that opinion. Oh yeah, shepherd's pie as well is pretty good. I have had shepherd's pie. Like authentic shepherd's pie. We use for your iron golem fuck. And shepherd's pie is pretty good. Believe it or not, I have had figgy pudding. Not figgy pudding, Christmas pudding. That's genuinely really tasty as well. It's like a spiced rum pudding type of thing. It's good. I like it a lot. Maybe you gotta shower because we're... Ah, okay, fair enough. I have not had blood pudding though. Do you have a TV license to watch the stream? Because I don't. Uh-oh. You're gonna have a Bobby come and knock some sense into you. Why do I always bring up food? I need to stop twitching you guys. Nah, food. I like talking about food. Speaking of which, earlier last week I made what I call a Chesapeake bake. You take some chicken thighs, some sliced carrots, corn cob. You slice that into 1.5 inch thick pieces, and some red skin potato. You dice that up. You mix it in a bowl with some olive oil, Old Bay seasoning, smoked paprika, a splash of lemon juice, and a little bit of natty bow. You mix it all up, you put it on a baking tray, and you bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes, and you have made a Chesapeake bake. And holy moly, it is delicious. Oh, whoops. My apologies. You triggered the very rare filter. So, context. Back in 2023, I think, there was a guy in my streams that would constantly talk about drinking blood. And I asked him to stop multiple times because it was just annoying. I had to eventually ban him. Because he would literally just spam that. And so I made drink blood, or like any combination of drinking blood, as like the trigger word to like temporary timeout for like 10 seconds and remove messages. So I apologize on that one. I totally forgot that was still in there. Vampires not allowed here. I know, I am discriminating against the vampires. But you know what? Vampires suck. Pretty insensitive. I'll show you sensitive. There you go. Honestly, this is a pretty good rally car. The VR6 R32 Golf. Like, it does really well in snow. It's got lots of traction. It's got good maneuverability. A little bit of a tap on the wall. I eat Kit Kats. Why? Okay. I'm not gonna question you. I'm not gonna question you. How you eat Kit Kat is your business. I've not had blood pudding though, but I have had Christmas pudding, which is a British staple, and that is genuinely really, really good. Why does medicine sound like wizard names? Yes, I am acetaminophen, the green. What color does acetaminophen usually come in? White, right? I think. Yeah, usually it comes in white. I am ibuprofen, the red. I am levothyroxine, the blue. I'm trying to figure out other medicine names. I am hydroxine, the yellow. It's gonna make a joke with Viagra. What is the chemical, like, off-brand name for Viagra? I'm trying to remember that one. Because believe it or not, despite the fact that people are like, haha, PP hard pill, it does actually help with managing blood pressure as well. It just, that was a side effect, and they realized, oh shoot, we can market it as this too. Which is also why it does bother me when some people are like, oh my gosh, Viagra is covered by health insurance. Yes, but only for managing blood pressure, not for the other reason. it doesn't get covered under health insurance for the other reason. It only gets covered under health insurance for literally for managing blood pressure, because that is what its initial intended purpose is, and what it still is used quite a bit actually for. It just also gets used for haha pee hard. It's just that one you have to buy it out of pocket usually. Usually. Ooh, okay. Under fully to race. Ibuprofen the clear. EP joke. I don't understand, Doc. My pressure is no good. My wife said. Well, the thing is, genuinely, you gotta be a little bit careful with that. Because if you use Viagra and your blood pressure's already on the lower side, it could legit cause severe cardiovascular, like, issues. And it could literally cause you to, like, faint as well. That's why, like, they always ask you if your heart is healthy enough for Viagra. You Under Pressure by Freddie Mercury. Under pressure. Pushing down on me. Pushing down on you. Pressure. Dum dum. Ba-da-dum, ba-dum, da-da-da. Oh, it sounds so good as well. Like, it sounds beautiful. I sound so uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable. I am dead inside. And granted, part of that is just the increase in responsibilities, both at work and also familial, which has left me a lot less time to get things sorted and everything. But on the other hand, I am exhausted. I think once we get this vehicle to level 10, I might end the stream, even if it's a little bit early. I might do that. Back from the shower, and I heard you say two things. Number one, Yep. Things that make you go, Boop. Gosh, that is a beautiful car, though. Isaac, you wanna hear something crazy? I feel like I don't have a choice in the matter, so go ahead. Boo. Boo-hoo. Don't cry. Knock knock, who's there? Woo. Woohoo. Exactly, we are excited because someone's at the door. Number 2, vampires suck, and I must agree. I recently found my 4th vampire in 2 months. I keep biting my neck and I tell him I'm not that kind of that kind of guy. You hear something actually scary though? Sure. I'm worried. I have no idea where this is going. I have no idea where this is going. I have lost all control in my life. And you know what? I'm embracing it. Yeah, it's over 7 immune system can bad. Yes, and if your body ever became aware of your eyes, or vice versa, they would literally destroy one or the other. Probably your body destroying your eyes. Is it risky to ask a goth girl for a date, even if you're in a... Probably. Make sure you still have both your kidneys after each date. I mean, to be fair, that is a bit more of a niche fun fact. Fun fact? I guess it's a fun fact. Interesting fact for sure. Down in the first. It's crazy just how much we're absolutely destroying the competition now. I was not expecting this in the R32. Like, I was expecting to do well, but this vehicle just genuinely dominates once it gets to a higher level of tune. It becomes unstoppable. Alright, that one I didn't necessarily need to know. Boop. I would rather keep my discussion of pork to the non-long kind, if you know what I mean. I know. I wish I didn't know, but I know. That's why the joke is when you refer to eating humans, it's called long pork. Dragon Fest. Ooh, up against the NSX. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm a pig then. Up. Probably. Probably. This chat is cursed. This chat is genuinely cursed. Y'all need Jesus. 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 You have Jesus. Do you have Jesus or do you have Jesus? Make sure you have Jesus. I'm not sure we'll be able to win this one. That NSX is genuinely quick. A lightning strike hits chat. Honestly, it'd be an improvement. I got the man upstairs to watch this area. Nice. That's just your upstairs neighbor. No, I'm kidding. Very nice. You should love yourself now. Yes, the Black Lightning guy was correct. Also, okay. This is gonna be really strange. Why do so many, like, black superheroes have lightning powers? Like, does anyone else notice that? Like, so many black superheroes have had lightning powers. Like, you had Static Shock, you got Miles Morales. Who else? Who else? Those are the two big ones. Grace. I don't know, it's just something that kind of like dawned on me, like how, like, it's kind of common. Oh, you mean, Mr. People don't think space be all like it do, but it does, Black Science Man. Static Shock again. True, yeah. Besides Black Panther. Yeah, like, it is strange. Cause even like, Storm, right? From X-Men. Like, yeah, she got other weather powers, but she got lightning bolts. The reason is there is. Ah, whoa, rip. So it is interesting. Someone said, true. Black Panther has used tasers in his. Hey, look, another NSX. Let's do it. But no, genuinely would Storm. The new Black Panther is what? The reverse Netflix adaptation. South African Black Panther. Rhodesian Black Panther. Oh gosh. Jerry Trainer from Icon. What? He has electric powers? Jerry Trainer's got electric powers? I didn't know Jerry Trainer was black. I don't even know where this is going. This conversation is just a mess now. He jokingly said he'd be Black Panther, so now it's... Yes! Do it! You know what? I'd be for that. Do it. Do it. It would be the funniest thing. They had the chance to do the funniest thing. Do it. Do it. Makes Spencer Black. But still keep the fact that things randomly catch on fire with him. He just has fire powers. But like random fire powers. He rides an ostrich in the back. Kevin the ostrich! Chris Pratt as Black Panther. You know what? Yes. Do it. Give him the taser, but it shocks him from that. Who's the guy? Who's the guy that plays Admiral Anderson in Mass Effect? Keith David, right? Keith David. He would make a pretty cool Black Panther, actually. Keith David would. I would 100% be in support of him becoming the next Black Panther. Keith David. He's got the capability to kind of have that, like, you know, authoritative, you know, kind of like a leader type of. He plays. Oh shoot, that is true. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom and played Iron Man. Jack Black is Black Panther. I am Wakanda forever. But I mean, and like, Chris. I'm blanking on his last name. The guy who plays Captain America also played Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, as well. This is Vibranium. Insert a random song about kitty cats or something. He would also like the suit tape. Yeah. Chris Evans, thank you. Chris Evans has played multiple different superheroes. He just feels like iconic as Spawn. I mean, kind of. Is he? Maybe. I don't know. I think he genuinely could make a good, like, a Black Panther, though. I know he's voicing the one guy in the King of the Hill reboot, which is pretty cool, actually. Oh, I forget the character's name, but he is voicing the one new guy in the neighborhood, which is pretty awesome, actually. He could be compared to Spawn too much. You think so? Yep, maybe that might be a genuine risk. Plus, it seems like nowadays he's been doing a lot more like voice acting gigs as opposed to regular acting. Keith David is also the Arbiter in Halo, and Goliath in Gargoyles, and Captain Anderson in Mass Effect. Ice Cube as Black Panther. The day was a good day. Kanye is Black Panther. Oh gosh. That would be interesting for sure. I got one more lap. We got one more lap. Watch it. Kanye's Black Panther. Oh, that would be absolutely cursed. That would be so cursed. I'd have a 50-50 shot of having the best sound. But he made Graduation, though. Yeah, to be fair, I've never really actually listened to Kanye as, so I don't know too many of his songs. All I know is the meme about Graduation. I am tired. I am so tired. Y'all don't know how tired I am. Oh, num num. Hey, we got it. Tropic Thunder Black Panther. Alright. Next car. Next car to pick is Cubist Stalin. I mean, if you stall on too much, you freeze. So let's do this. Let's pull up the random number generator again. Alright, we got 3 options. If it's a 1, it's the Z33. If it is a 3, it's a Sports 800. It is a 2 again. It is a 2 again. So the Giulia Sprint GTA. Very, very nice. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a fun one. Mamma mia. Yes. Mamma to the mia. But anyway, I am exhausted. I am exhausted. I'm gonna be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what went well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know in place I can fix that in the future. Oh, I'm so tired. Why? Good night, y'all. See you Saturday. I'm so tired.